I posted earlier a little clip on Philippians 4:8, which is just talking about how we should focus our mind on good things, right? There's so much ugly and evil out in the world today, and you see it all over your social media feeds and all over the media outlets, and everything is kind of pointing us in this direction of what is ugly. And I don't want anyone to forget all the good that God is doing out in the world. So I encourage you maybe go back and look at that. But there are some great news articles out there in the world of all the good that's happening and the good people that are out there. But it forced me to go back a little bit into Philippians 3. And I came across this verse this morning, and it's Philippians 3:17. He says, "Brothers, join in imitating me." This is Paul speaking. He says, "Join in imitating me and keep your eyes on those who walk according to the example you have in us." And so he's not being arrogant. He's saying, hey, I follow Christ. These leaders of the church are following Christ. And if you're looking for someone to imitate us in the way that you live. And he goes on in verse 18 to say, "For many of whom I have often told you and now tell you even with tears, walk as enemies of the cross of Christ." Did you catch what he said there? He didn't say, hey, I'm telling you about these people that are enemies of the cross of Christ, and I tell you in anger. And I'm so ticked off at these people, and I think we should rise up against them, and we should have a revolution against them. No, what does he say? He says, I tell you about them even now in tears. In tears. Paul's not angry at these people that are enemies of the cross. He is sad for them. He is weeping for them. His heart is broken for them. Why? Because he knows that they are God's creation, that they are his brothers and sisters. And here's why he is sad. Listen to this. Their end is destruction. Their God is their belly, and they glory in their shame with minds set on earthly things. Like, Paul understands the impact of eternity, and that these people are chasing after the wrong things. They are enemies of the cross because they are constantly feeding themselves, right? It says their God is their belly. They're just consuming, that they glory in their shame. The things that should be shameful, they're promoting as glorious. And it doesn't make him angry. It makes him sad. And what I would love for us to do as we look at things that are popping up all over the media and how ugly some of the parts of the world are, that it would break our hearts for those that are enemies of the cross, that it wouldn't turn us into raging, angry Christians, but would rather turn us into soft-hearted Christians who are praying diligently for those that are active enemies of the cross. That we would say, no, I'm not gonna jump into this conversation and give my opinion. I'm not gonna vehemently spit venom across the table at the other person who's spitting venom at me. But rather, I'm gonna see that their heart is broken. I'm gonna see that they're chasing after the wrong things. They're chasing after the earthly things. And I'm going to be sad about that. And I'm not going to hate those people. I'm going to love those people, and I'm going to pray for those people. This is the Christian calling. And so I challenge everyone that might come across this, that as you come across some of these conversations, as one, maybe just don't engage at all. Number two, social media outlets tend not to be great places for argument. I hope that this finds a space in your heart that you hear God's word, and God's word does transformation for you. But I'm not here to argue. I don't want to debate people in this space. I don't think it's very healthy generally to do that. We get sucked into these conversations and we feel like we have to win. And it's no different than what Paul just said, right? If I have to win, then that means I'm focused on me and not on the other person's salvation. Do I want to display truth? Absolutely. I think God's word does that. Do I have to say, hey, this is Gareth's opinion? No, I think I could tell you, like, this is God's word. And my prayer is that it transforms your heart, that it challenges you a bit, that it might make you think twice before you engage in some just vicious rhetoric or vicious back and forth arguments with people that you might not even know, or that you do know and you love, and you should be having these conversations face to face, and instead you're doing it through Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all these other places. We are called to be different. We are called to be brokenhearted for the things that break God's heart, and not to become angry in these spaces. Paul had every right to be angry, and he wasn't. He just consistently did kingdom work. Consistently. Didn't matter if he was beaten with rods, didn't matter if he was whipped, it didn't matter if he was stoned, didn't matter if he was shipwrecked, didn't matter if he was in prison. It didn't matter to Paul. Wherever he was, he's like, I'm going to do kingdom work. This jailer puts me in chains and shackles and awkward positions to be torturous. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sing some praise songs. And then I'm going to convert this dude, right? That's my goal. I'm going to show them what it looks like to walk in the faith and trust in God, and how good it is. And I bet you it changes this guy's life. So I challenge you in that space. Be different. Be different. Be full of joy. Focus on the good things. Have your heart broken for the things that break God's heart. Is it okay to mourn? Absolutely. We should be mourning when ugly things happen in the world. We should be mourning when we see evil. We should be mourning when we see people being ugly to each other over those exact same subjects. I hope that lands in a good space for you. God bless.